good to have you on the show, Rex. Welcome to the program.
Good afternoon, Cathy. Thanks for having us.
Yeah, you know, a lot going on India. Let's tackle first the trade angle. If we take the worst case scenario, what would be the situation between India and its friendlier trading partners, including the Philippines?
We're very confident that with what's happening globally, you're going to have a lot of Indian companies even having more interest in doing business with its Far East neighbors. And the Philippines is smack in the center of all of that. So the Indian government has already looked, they have this look east policy that they've been working on, and we see that to further improve with the current development.
But where is the Philippines strong at? I mean, right now we're seeing the U.S.-China trade war unfold. Vietnam appears to be the emerging beneficiary of all the relocators from China and into Vietnam, not really the Philippines.
Well, not yet, and this is why some of the things that we advocate really is for the Philippines to step up when it comes to manufacturing. And we see India doing a lot of business in the Philippines in different sectors. Agriculture is one of them, where India is very, very strong. And we have Mindanao, for example, which is our food basket. A lot of younger Filipinos today do not really like going into agriculture, right? India has all the technology that they can provide to make agriculture interesting again. And so we're very hopeful that the synergies will now come into play where India comes in and starts working with Filipino counterparts in the agriculture industry among other industries.
I mean, has that happened? The president visited India in 2016. 2018.
Right.
In that span of period, any of the sectors that have been targeted, have they already progressed for any of the trade deals?
Yes. So a lot has been going on. So in pharma, there's been a lot of movement in pharma. A lot of Indian pharmaceutical companies have come to the Philippines and expressed interest to do more business in the Philippines. Of course, we're challenged with certain government agencies that we feel need to step up and make that happen. Well, a lot of Indian companies that bring in medication from India need to get approvals from the FDA. And unfortunately,
the Food and Drug Administration in the Philippines.
That's right. And unfortunately, it takes a long time. And as a chamber, we've reached out to them, and there's just really a lot of work that needs to be done. So we're very hopeful with the new appointments at the FDA, things should speed up, because the president's very clear. He wants medicines to come into the Philippines cheap, and the only way that's going to happen is if we partner with India. And India is ready and willing. It's our turn to get that into shape.
All right, so how long is long? If you were to bring in and import pharmaceutical products from India, how long does the process take?
The information I have from my members is that there's nothing fixed. So that they would file an application, it would just take forever. We're in fact hoping with the new ease of doing business law that would need to kick in the minute the IRR is actually assigned. And hopefully that will be the first agency that this will actually apply to. So we're very hopeful, again, with the new appointments, and we will be making our representations shortly. We're just letting the new guy get adjusted to his job.
Yeah, but you got the same guy ruling India, and I guess that helps because they've already met, and they're similar in most ways. What sort of cooperation opportunities are you seeing going forward with the reappointment or the re-election of Narendra Modi?
Prime Minister Modi's re-election is something that we're all very happy about, because his last government really looked at the Philippines, and his visit to the Philippines for ASEAN and President Rodrigo Duterte's visit to India has really warmed relations. We have an excellent Indian ambassador in the Philippines now, Ambassador Mazumdar. The new ambassador, the Philippine ambassador to India, just flew there, Ambassador Bhagat Singh. And so we see a lot of quick movements by these two countries. Clearly, if you look at tourism, for instance, right? There's a huge tourism market that we can tap from India. The Indians would not normally go to Phuket and go to Bali for their holidays. Why not the Philippines? So
why not? I mean, why aren't they coming here? We've got beautiful beaches.
It's very hard to get a visa. So that's another thing that we are working on.
So you need to loosen the visa restrictions.
Absolutely. So unfortunately, and this is why we're very excited with the new ambassador, is the mindset has always been every Indian coming to the Philippines is going to the Philippines for 5-6, right? But that is really not the case anymore.
That's the money lending scheme.
That's
the act of lending people money.
Correct.
At a hefty interest, a 20% interest.
Well, that's the brand that has been there for the longest time, right? But it's not really that way anymore. It is really it's changed over the years.
How so? I mean, if for instance I borrow money maybe on a Monday,
Okay.
100 pesos,
So how it
I'd have
used
to
to work.
pay a sum that is 20% higher by Friday.
Well,
Isn't that how we know it to
That's
be?
the way it used to be. You borrow 100 on a Monday and you pay 100 every day till Saturday, where you pay 600. That's 20% in a week. That has clearly changed. So today, if you borrow 10,000 pesos on January 1, you pay 100 pesos every day till April 30, or 4 months, you end up paying 12,000. Effectively, that's 20% over a 4-month period, and you cut that down to about 5% a month, right? So there is a 30% default rate on all these money lenders. So effectively, the rate's about 3.5% after all the defaults.
So how did that change? I mean, let's take a step back here. You got the pawn shops and you've got fintech services.
Correct.
That's a lot of competition coming from those offering lower interest rates.
This
How
is
come
why
5-6 has changed?
This is why competition's great, right? So as you bring in more competitors, that will drive interest rates down, and that'll benefit our micro entrepreneurs.
Yeah, but you're not regulated, are you?
Well, that's exactly where we're going. So when we spoke to the president in 2017, and we proposed that instead of clamping down on the 5-6 money lenders, would be to legalize them instead. And that actually, there was a interagency group that met, headed by DTI and the SEC. And the SEC after that came up with the rules on how Indian money lenders, and any money lender for that matter, could get legalized by putting up their own corporation. And this way you bring them above ground, they're paying taxes. And to us, this will benefit the Filipino consumer and the Filipino small business.
But how big
in
is
long
the
run.
market? I mean, if you've done the maths, the data, 5-6, how big an industry is it, and how much potential contribution can it give tax collections, if indeed it is regulated?
So you're looking at about 30,000 Indian money lenders, and that's Indian only. And if you would peg a very conservative capital of 1 million pesos per lender, that's 30 billion right there. And again, I said that was very conservative. So you could just imagine the figures. And you have a situation where all these guys and their logistics are all in place, where they can go to that market vendor and collect that 100 pesos every day. It's unbeatable, right? And this system of money lending by Indians is only here in the Philippines. It's not in any other country. So what we advocate is, look, take advantage of this, add this to whatever else is available, let competition happen, and Juan de la Cruz benefits.
Well, thank you for keeping us up to speed with the Indian business
Most welcome.
scenario here in the Philippines.
Most
Lex
welcome.
Daryanani
Thank
of
you.
the Indian Chamber of Commerce Philippines in the studio.